Hi, this is Sarah of Spa and Wellness MexiCaribe, and today I'm here with Rainer of Art of Cryo, and we're going to be talking about creating personalized spa journeys with cryotherapy, a very hot topic at the moment. Rainer, welcome. How are you today?
Very well, thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Hola and bienvenidos.
Gracias. Okay, I'm going to hand over to you, and we have a presentation. We're going to learn all about cryotherapy and the wonderful installations that Art of Cryo can create.
Okay, let's start. Can you see it well?
Yes, we can.
Just try to move the bar a little bit upwards. If that works. Okay. So let's start with the history of Art of Cryo a little bit. How can I? Okay. Art of Cryo is a relatively young brand. It was launched in 2020. But the factory that is standing behind is L&R Kältetechnik, GmbH and Co. KG. Now you understand why we named the baby Art of Cryo. And L&R Kältetechnik produces electric cryo chambers since nearly 30 years. Actually, the founder of L&R developed the first electric minus 110 degrees or minus 166 Fahrenheit solution already in 1988. Till 2020, L&R produced OEM for a leading company in the medical field where I was head of sales. And when I quit there, I got a call and we relatively quickly agreed on launching Art of Cryo, which is a brand. And we started to put a lot of speed on innovation in a technical sense to bring things up to date, and especially also on an aesthetic level, because the eye is also an important point. We started to collaborate with Antonio Capristo. Antonio Capristo is well known in the car industry. He's a luxury car tuner. He does all the exhaust systems for Ferrari, and there's no Lamborghini coming on the street without his good view on the carbon parts. You can see our V1 Lux with stainless steel interior that was designed by him. And we used a lot of elements designed by him in different products, which you will see in the transcourse of this presentation. We have 3 different lines of cryo chambers. First one is called single walls. Second one is called vario walls. Last one is called unical walls. Let's start with the single walls. The entry-level product of single walls is the V1. So single walls are designed for the use with one person. Says with one step, you're in the treatment room. Here we communicate the minus 75 degrees Celsius. I know that does not sound so deep temperature, but we are the only ones talking about real room temperatures. Till today, I could not find any electric cryo chamber that is colder than these minus 75 degrees Celsius. And we want to stay honest in that, unless one, which you will see now, that's the V1 Lux. V1 Lux has minus 85 degrees. So these are very space-saving solutions where with one step you go in and have your treatment. Obviously, they are designed for one person, not because there's not enough space for 2 people. But if you open and close the door and you enter with 2 people, you would lose too much of the cold air inside. Actually, too much warm air comes inside, which means that you generate a lot of fog. And the humidity converts in the product into snow and ice, which is not wished, because you will lose over the transcourse of the day some performance if you use it frequently with 2 people. That's why we recommend to use it only with one person, and exceptionally with 2 people. For example, if you do the treatment with a child or a couple, one of the couple is a little bit anxious of the treatment, so exceptionally you can also use it for with 2 people. Next line is vario vaults consisting of V2 and V3. As you can see here, we have two different rooms. The one is with -60 degrees, that's the entry room, and the actual treatment room is with -110 degrees. In the beginning, as we did not have any real product out there at the start of Art of Cryo, we started with aquarelle because and drawings. We said that fits well with art, and we preferred to show the aquarelles instead of any animation where all products are looking nice, because we wanted to keep it real. Now there's more than enough installations out there where you can see the product in live. In the V2 and the now shown V3, one can enter with 4 to 6 people at the same time, depending a little bit on the setup and who is going in there. 6 easy prima ballerinas can enter there. If you have big rugby players, maybe 4 is enough. With the V3, we have another pre-room, which is especially for the Caribbean is recommendable. We have -10, -60, and then -110. For the treatment itself, that does not make a big difference, but for the product, because the pre-rooms take all the humidity away when you enter into the product. Says with the V3, you can do it very continuously, even if in a humid climate. You should follow our specifications, how the room is prepared, but sometimes you will get a higher humidity in front of the product, and with the pre-rooms, you can get rid of that humidity in the air. On a treatment level, the -60 degrees room is there, that if you were sweating before a little bit, you stay there a little bit longer, and rest humidity can evaporate from the surface of your skin, and you get a pleasant treatment at real -110 degrees. Last line is called unical vaults. With unical vaults, we do special solutions depending on the customer's need. Like you can see here, a mobile cryo chamber that you can rent in Europe with a customer of ours. It was, for example, used by the national team of the ladies soccer players in preparation for the World Championships at the Adidas campus. Then we have special solutions for private yachts, and in Madeira, you find the largest cryo chamber in the world, a unical vault called V12, where you can enter with 20 people at the same time. This is really huge. You can have a little view inside. It says our slogan is more than cold. More than cold, why? We have special topics that are needed in the market. First one we can call individualization and customization. And that is not only referring to the product, therefore we have the unical vaults, but in the end, it's also about the treatment itself. We were the first ones in the market that introduced individual treatment times with our software partner, Remedicool. Says we automized, digitalized the complete check-in for the first visit, and there you're asked for different kind of information, which afterwards is a basis for your individual treatment time. The individual treatment time depends on the product on one side, whether you're using the -75, the -85, or the -110 degrees, but also on your gender, whether you're a lady or a man, on your age, on your BMI, on your skin type, and so on. Then more than cold means at the same time, it's not about a single treatment, it's about a treatment aim that you follow. And therefore we developed the text bar module with 2 products more from ourselves, combined afterwards with different products. What you can see on this image is the multi-cryo hacking system on top on 12 o'clock. Multi-cryo hacking system consists of far infrared, 6 different kind of LED in 3 colors, to red, to green, to blue, combined with 3 negative oxygen ion generators that deliver 15.6 million negatively charged oxygen ions per cubic centimeter. Then we have a sophisticated air evacuation system, and on top you can have as an extra aromatherapy. So this is the right preparation to energize you before you go on the cryo. We avoid sweating by controlling the temperatures. So for us, it's more important with the far infrared light to warm the tissue of the body deeply and not to generate sweating. The LED, depending on the program, what is your treatment aim, you get a different mixture out of them. So we cannot deliver only one kind of light. We can also combine them, and in the course of the treatment have different colors in combination. The negatively charged oxygen ions have very positive impact on free radicals, for example, on the appearance of the skin, to energize you as well. And aromatherapy is stimulating you. Besides that, obviously, you also have neurobeats with music integrated. Says we offer you a multi-sensory experience and prepare you in an ideal way to have afterwards one of the cryos. In this case, we show the V1 Lux in the rectangular version. We come back to the benefits of the products afterwards. Cryotherapy is well known from different fields. It has its origin in the medical field, then entered into top class sports in the luxury hotel field, and got very popular now also with cryo centers or even private use. The third product from our house that is coming is the flow system. The flow system you can see below, where we apply under pressure and over pressure and stimulate the flow in the body on its different levels. Can you excuse me 1 second, because I have some noise in the background? Here you see a first example as a so-called Tokyo solution. You have a look on the product that I Sorry for the interruption. So here in the cool zone in Cologne, or also in cool zone Klagenfurt, we have a complete setup. In this case, it's a combination of V1 Lux, so they have 2 cryo chambers, an MCS cabin, and 2 flow systems that are offered on a very limited space. So it's space saving. That's why we call it the Tokyo solution. On the next image, you get a quick view in our showroom, and we can show you how real cold looks like. What you have just seen is the defrost that you do approximately every 2 weeks with a big system. And you can clearly see what happens if you have real minus 110 degrees and you open the doors. Now you understand what I explained before. If you're going under certain degrees of temperature, starts around 90 degrees minus Celsius, you cannot work with a single room anymore because you generate much too much fog and snow and ice in the product, which one can see here easily in that video. At our showroom, everybody is welcome to visit it. You can see a V1 Lux from the single walls, and a V3 for testing, beside obviously our multi-cryo hacking system cabin and the flow system. nice is there that one can combine a visit to the factory and you can see how we produce the products. We are the only manufacturer in the world that is doing refrigeration. We build our own control cabinets for our products only, and we do the programming of the SPS all under one roof in Germany. And here now a short view into the cool zone Madeira that I managed before. A unique place in many different directions. You have the before seen Unical Walls V12 for up to 20 people. The first walk-through cryo chamber in the world. So it's 4 chambers there. You enter on -10. You continue with -60. You go to the actual treatment room with -110 degrees, where a complete soccer team can enter easily. And then you walk out through another -60 degrees room. So it's like a course and an experience, because directly opposite, you have the MCS experience tunnel, which is a extra large MCS with 12 stations, where every 1 minute and 30 seconds, 2 people can enter. And at the same time, you can have up to 12 people in there. So there's also a normal MCS cabin and different other products like HBOT. The idea of the tech spa module is to have a basis of products that we offer as a platform that is open for other treatments, like cryotherapy, like dry floating and other modalities. And at the same time, give a feedback by diagnostics that the consumer in the end gets all the data and gets a lot of the data directly in the app where the booking was done with, and the questionnaire before for checking in, as I explained. That the final customer is the owner of the data. That's the one thing. The other thing is that I have a direct feedback and can measure for myself what is the impact and the results I get with treatments that I get in a center or at a spa where our products are installed. That was a quick overview on what we are doing. Now I would be open to questions, and we can also with pleasure talk a little bit about the different fields of use and what is the sense here. Thank you very much. Gracias a todos.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rainer. That's really, really interesting. So one question is, are there any places so far in Latin America or Caribbean where people can experience the Art of Cryo facilities?
We have an installation just opened in Atlanta. That's the nearest by, and you find a cryo chamber of ours in Tlaxcala in Mexico.
Okay, fantastic.
Besides that, not under Art of Cryo, but from before, the very first cryo chamber installed in Northern America was at the Sparkling Hill Resort, owned by Mr. Lange Swarovski, so having a free chamber system. It's a cool spa.
Excellent. The video of you opening the door with all of the cold mist coming out was amazing.
I think it's important because there's so much misleading communication out there in the market, especially in the US. Everybody is pretending that they are offering in single chambers -166 Fahrenheit or -110 degrees Celsius. I don't know why, but it's physically not really possible. And I think you have never seen another cryo chamber where you get this kind of mist afterwards. Yeah, so that's
I've
how
only
real
tried
minus.
I've only tried the single chambers, so therefore I haven't actually tried the real 110. So I need to get myself somewhere to try the actual proper treatment of -110, because that would be amazing.
Madeira is always a travel worth. It was 3 times the most beautiful island in Europe, and it's just in between Europe and the US. You have a flight from New York in 4.5 hours or 5.5 hours. I don't know.
Perfect. So one other question, you mentioned the flow system. Could you elaborate on what exactly that is?
The flow system works with under pressure and over pressure, and that in a very strong way. It has a comfortable closing mechanism that closes the whole lower part of your body, the lower bow of the ribs, downward, so to say. You can imagine, like, the compression boots and, Chinese cupping. Yeah. The compression boots do not include the complete leg and the upper part, because there's always spots that you will not get. Our flow system covers the complete area, and that touchless with exactly the same pressure at every point. So you apply pressure on the whole lower part of your body, and afterwards you suck a vacuum like Chinese cupping, but also on the whole lower part of your body. And that then is iterating in between, depending on the program, with different sequences and different strengths, and therefore brings the flow into your body. Means
fantastic.
Most well-known thing, let's say lymphatic drainage, you can easily do, but that is kid stuff. This is relatively low pressures. You can work very nicely on the connective tissue, which is perfect. Let's say the best example to see the power of this product is after a very long travel. You know that if you wear boots and you take them off in the plane afterwards, you don't come into them again. One session here, afterwards the boots fit perfectly again.
Fantastic. I have another question. Is it safe for a guest to use cryotherapy chambers alongside other cold therapy experiences such as ice bath and alternating hot and cold experiences?
For the alternating hot and cold experience, we designed the multi-cryo hacking system. So this is designed to be combined with whole body cryotherapy. Cold water immersion directly combined with cryo, I don't see the sense. Why? And obviously you should have dry skin and dry hair before you enter into whole body cryotherapy. So if you don't have enough after whole body cryo, you could theoretically go into a cold water immersion. But in general, there is the belief, and it's said after one session, you shall wait that the original surface body temperatures are reached before repeating.
Definitely. I don't have the context of the person asking the question, but it leads me to another question. If you had the option of doing cryotherapy and you wanted to do ice baths at another time in the week, I assume that would also be complementary therapy that would also be beneficial.
Definitely. I like cold showers when I'm traveling to get fit, if I don't have a cryo with me. It does not fit into my pocket, so this is no question. By the way, both is cryotherapy. Cryotherapy in the end is taking some warmth of the body away. The big difference in between cold water immersion and whole body cryotherapy is definitely that we can work sub-zero, and significantly sub-zero, which you do not reach with cold water immersion.
Yes.
So you get different effects.
One question I would like to ask is, do you feel the difference a lot between the -75 and the true -110?
Yes, definitely. It's two different worlds.
Okay.
And also on the effect levels, with -75, you can already generate all the real -75. Careful. You can already reach for most of the people all the effect levels, but not on the same scale and not with the same duration in the long run. Giving you an example from the medical field, let's say you suffer arthrosis and you have some pains. If you're on a pain scale at 8 with the -110, if you're lucky, you're coming to 0 or to 2 or 1. If you do the same with the -75 or the -85, you might come to 4 or 5. That's the one point. If you do a serial treatment with the -110, up to half a year, you can have very nice effects: better sleep, less pain, increased movability. And with the -75 and -85, that might last only 2 to 3 months. I think this is a good example to feel a little bit the difference.
Excellent, really useful information. One other thing that you mentioned about creating different experiences based on the guest, which is if the guest is male or female, their BMI, what kind of things would change based on that data?
So in general, ladies will support less cold than men. With the age, it depends. If you have a very low age, you will have a shorter treatment time, then it will increase, and from a certain age on, it will decrease again. Then a person that is well trained will support a longer cold stay than a person suffering obesity. A darker skin type in tendency will support less cold than a brighter Viking style skin type. So these are factors that are coming here into consideration and give you then a recommended first treatment time, which once you have some thermal adaptation, you can increase. So the software allows you to add some time on top. And the AI afterwards learns who is doing that. So I normally recommend not more than 3 times. You can add 15 seconds because obviously security is always the most important factor. So there is a security gap calculated in. And if you have already quite some experience, you know that I know you like ice bathing. I think the first time you did it, it cost you much more than after a certain time of adoption to do so.
Definitely, yes. It gets easier, definitely. And so if hotels, wellness establishments around Latin America are interested in adding one of these installations to their facilities, is there training that is provided by Art of Cryo to help guide them in setting up these protocols and offering these experiences?
Yeah, we have 3 different levels of doing so. So what is always included is that somebody is passing by and doing a training on site. It's obviously the basics, so to say. All our customers are always welcome to visit one of our reference centers and to work there for a couple of days. This is especially recommendable for the key people there, that they pass by 2-3 days working in a real environment, because it's always a difference in between getting a theoretical training or being present in a normal flow, how it is going in a business. And there will be launched soon through the software a campus where you get online training directly.
Excellent. Well, that was really fantastic information. That is all of our questions that we have. Thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us.
More than welcome. Thank you very much for having me.